Hi, boys and girls. Remember this book, Snowmen at Night? We read it a couple days ago. I bet you do remember, don't you? What was happening in that book? Well, I think it was a little boy who was wondering what his snowmen did at night. And he had this wonderful bunch of ideas about them going down the street and about them playing baseball and about them going sliding and having a great time. Does that help you to remember? Well, today we're going to talk about a new word. It's called inferring. When you infer, you do something that good readers do. Now, when we were reading that book, remember there was a part where the snowmen had cold chocolate. They didn't have hot chocolate, did they? Do you remember? If you don't remember, go back and watch the video because I think it would be great for you to see it again. Now, the author didn't tell you why they were having cold chocolate, right? They didn't tell you that. They leave that for the reader to think about and to figure out. And I bet you did too, didn't you? Well, this is your turn to tell about what you thought. You have a paper in your kits. At the top it does say Snowmen at Night. And it has the author's name by Carolyn Bruner. But over here, you know whose name they want. That's right, your name. Do your best writing, your best kindergarten writing. Now, the directions say, readers infer. They infer to help them understand what is happening in the story. Why did the snowmen drink ice-cold cocoa instead of hot cocoa? Now, they're giving us two ways to tell why, okay? So, in this part here, this is where you're going to draw your picture. I'm not going to draw one because you know what I found out? I found out, excuse me, if I draw a picture, then you guys draw the exact same thing. And that doesn't let me know what you're thinking about. But we will talk about the rules for drawing. Here, you're going to draw a picture of the snowmen drinking ice-cold cocoa. Now, your name is already going to be up here, so we have two more rules. It has to be as big as your hand. So I want you to draw a nice big picture that fills this space. We've talked about that, haven't we? The other thing I want you to do is to use 3 or more colors. So this is a picture you will draw with your crayons. Please don't take out markers. Crayons are a great way to make colors show differently. So do your picture as big as your hand, or almost. That just really means to fill up the space, and using 3 or more colors. This is the hard part. You know why it's hard? It's hard because you're going to say to Mom and Dad, how do I spell that? How do I write this? And I want you to be brave. And I want you to write why the snowmen were drinking ice-cold cocoa. I'm a little afraid to tell you anything because I'm worried you're going to write what I say to. And I want you to write it. Boys and girls, you write your letters the way you think they're supposed to be. And then go see Mom and Dad and say, can I read you what I wrote? Yeah. And you read it. Because if you wrote it, you could read it. If they tell you all the letters, then you're not going to know what it says. I want you to write what you can read. Okay? So, instead of showing you how to write that on here, let me show you something else. Okay? If we were going to write, how about why Mrs. Peterson drinks hot coffee? How about we do that for a sample? Why does Mrs. Peterson like to drink hot coffee? Well, one reason is she's used to it. She has it every day, and if she doesn't have it, sometimes adults who don't get their coffee They get a little cranky. That can happen. I have coffee before I come on, and I might even have another cup when I'm all done my recordings. Another reason Mrs. Peterson might like to have coffee, because it helps her stay awake. It does. So if I wanted to write Mrs. Peterson stays awake, if that's what I wanted to write, I just have to write the sounds I hear. So let's see. I'm thinking, oops, I want you to see, sorry. I want to write Mrs. Peterson can stay awake. Mrs. Peterson can stay awake. It's going to be 5 words. If I want to write Mrs., what do you hear? Mrs., I hear that So I would put that. Is M. Mrs. Oh, now I'm going to do Peterson. What do you hear? Yes. Mrs. Pete. Oh, I heard a T. Peter. I heard an R. Son. Mrs. Peterson can. Oh, can. We know can. 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 We've been writing it every day at morning meeting. Can. Mrs. Peterson can stay. Oh, I hear that S. Stay. Oh, if I don't know any other letters, I just write S. Can stay awake. Awake. Oh, I did hear that. I heard a W. Okay. And then I'll put a period. Now, this is not adult writing. Okay? An adult might have trouble reading it, but you could tell them how. Mrs. Peterson can stay awake. That's why she drinks coffee. So why can you infer why the snowmen needed ice cold cocoa? Even if it's one word, boys and girls, even if it's one letter, just do it on your own. I can't wait to see it and say, Mom, Dad, brother, sister, Grandma, Grandpa, can I read this to you? And you point and tell them. And if they say, well, that's not how you spell it, you say, that's okay. Miss Red wanted me to do it all by myself. And I did, and I'm proud of my work. And I will be proud of you. So, picture and some writing so you can tell what it is. And you know what? When you tell your mom or dad what you wrote, they'll write it to me when they mail it to me, when they email it to me. And then maybe I'll be able to read some of them at morning meeting. Have fun. Do a good job. Be proud.